The second thing I wanted to share about this morning is the figure of Jesus Christ, and basically, yeah, this all debate, the theological debate about the nature of Christ, is the human nature and divine nature, is 3-1, is 1 and 2, those little, theological detail that many people seems to love arguing about, because they still think that the truth is an intellectual truth. But I think that the truth is an experience of the truth. When you experience God inside yourself, you know that's true. You don't need teacher, you don't need notions. You just need to be honest and humble and open your heart and check, like the fact you're living now. It's not a belief, it's not a ideology, it's not a rational thought by itself, it's not a notion. You can check your heartbeat, you can check your breath, you can check, you can see. So that's the same thing. Can you experience God inside yourself? If yes, okay, you're in touch with the divine, you are into something. Otherwise, you can study all the books that have been ever written about theology and at the same time be completely disconnected from God. So, with that being said, the things is about the need of the archetypal things, that we need some story, will say Jordan Peterson, or meme, will say Dawkins, because there is encapsulated a truth that is so deep that we can decode through our senses or through the limitation of our logical mind and logical language, a metaphysical truth. And so the fact that Jesus, I'm not arguing that what's the objective truth, because once again, I don't think this is the real truth at all. The real truth is what make your consciousness uplift and transcend. There's no other truth. The rest is just an entertainment in the best scenario, or a sickness of the mind in the worst scenario. A functional sickness that many seems to have, but they can keep going because they're just fixated with our thoughts until they start to bleed, like a famous song says, and it's true. And the concept is we need, of course, the divine nature of Jesus Christ. We need that because this is a physical way to get in touch with the divine, while we have in this level of consciousness, that human being consciousness, in this physical reality, in this limitation of our body, in our flesh. So a transcendental God, an absolute God, may seem unreachable to us from this level, and it is. So we need, a bridge. You need the steps to reach there, to expand our consciousness step by step and make the experience of the divine possible. And the figure of Jesus Christ is so powerful. It's one of, I think, the most powerful archetype of, I would argue, any religion, because it brings you God into the world physically. So it's accessible to anyone. You can hug him, you can feel him, you can hear him, you can see him. You can experience God. Before you couldn't. Before, you could read a lot of books, but once again, all notion, all logic, all mind, no real experience of God. With Jesus, you can make the experience of God. God came down to your level to make him experience himself. So that's so powerful. That's so powerful. And that's the first nature, why it's so necessary. The second nature is the human nature of Jesus Christ. And this is necessary as well. And I'll explain you why. It's necessary because if Jesus is only God, without any human nature, just human form or not human nature, let's be honest, you can't relate to him. Because through empathy, through your mirror neurons, to your you relate to things and entities and people that are similar to you. So you need a human being to connect empathetically and to be inspired by his work, by what he has done in his life. Because if, of course, the perfect life of Jesus was the life of God, of course, he was perfect, he was God, but you don't have much inspiration in it, because you feel you're not God now. You feel you're limited in your humanity. And so you will start just to pray God once again, detached from you, like it's a separate entity, like there's no connection whatsoever, and you try to tell him what to do or tell him to give you this or that. But if God is human, then you don't have excuse for play this mind trick with yourself. And you can be inspired because God was human, a fully blossomed human with 100% of the potential of a human. And so what he did, the love he had, I can cultivate, and it's possible for me to reach that level of love for myself as well as human, if I work toward blossoming my humanity inside myself. So it becomes an inspiration and as a thing that it's possible. It's not ideal. It's not just utopia, something like that. It's possible, and something when you have this relation open up, and from disconnected to the God, you start to experience it. God, it's a possibility to experience God and Jesus inside yourself. This possibility, because those two natures are like two sides of a same coin. Of course, it's not separate, but they are both fundamental, even as archetype to you to make experience of God, to make the potential of humanity fully blossom, to stop being separate from God, to start this journey. Thanks for listening. I hope you appreciate somehow.